Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to Rise Up After Dark. Yeah. That's right. It's the timely takes for those with the textured taste. It's helpful Web3 news commentary, altcoin research, answers to your crypto questions. We're going to be here until 2 hours from now, and we are so glad to be with you. If you are listening to us live or on podcasts, hello. If you're in the future, we hope your candles are green. I'm Evan. He's Alex. He's Will. And how are you guys? It's good to see you.
Oh, good to see you guys too. My stomach hurts a little bit though.
Oh,
I feel like I know my tummy is a little wumbly. I've taken Pepto-Bismol. Other than that, had a great workout at the gym. Worked on my booty and my hamstrings, trying to get them thick, and did some cardio and took a shower, and now I'm here right after a full days of work.
That sounds pretty good. I also exercise my hamstrings and my posterior today.
Look at us go.
We're going to be thick like
just a couple gargantuan gluteus maximuses over here.
A couple of glugons. Alex, what about you?
How's that ass, man?
Did you sweat it off today?
Get a workout in? Anything for your body? Did you eat healthy?
I did not do any of that stuff, but I did do, what time is it? I did manual labor.
Game time.
Labor of the manual variety for a very long time. It was helping a property that flooded recover, digging a new drain, removing the old one, pulling a pump out of the ground. It was full of rocks, so it was not working. Go figure. Took the rocks out, put it back in the ground, realized that it was not put back in the ground properly because we are not that smart. And so took it back out of the ground, fixed it again, put it back in the ground. Now it almost works. And then we just decided, you know what, we're done with this. And we left.
Lovely.
We did our best. It was a lot of digging, a lot of gravel.
I think you also worked out your hamstrings and your butt, Alex. So congratulations.
You know that Family Guy clip where Peter's trying to get the frog out the window?
No, I don't know that one.
I don't know that one.
Evan, Family Guy is a TV show.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Wait,
wow,
you're
really?
You're talking about the Fortnite character?
Oh, God. Wait, okay, so Evan, I knew you wouldn't see it, but Will, really? That's an icon.
No.
Someone.
No, I don't have it.
Someone has seen it. There's a very famous Family Guy moment where Peter, you know how when Peter falls and skins his knee? You ever seen a clip of that?
Oh,
no,
yeah, of
Alex.
course. Yeah. No, Alex.
Evan, I love you dearly. This part's not for you, okay? This is between me and Will, the other one who's watched a TV show.
Oh, yes. And then he's like trying to get the frog out of like the tray and shit. Okay.
Yeah, he has like a shoebox.
Yes,
and it goes on for so long.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
That was me today, except it was getting gravel out of this pump, wherein you would like take one gravel out and then your elbow would bump 3 more pieces of rock into it. And then you would like try to move 1 foot and it would dump 5 more rocks in, and then you'd scoop them out with a shovel and then knock in 10 more. And it was just that. It was very Family Guy coded.
But how does does Bitcoin fix that though? Bitcoin fixes that, right?
You know what? I don't know, but I know that it does.
It does. Sure. It's good. Those rocks in that hole are good for Bitcoin.
Actually, in this case, I think that Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic Inu probably fixes it better because it makes me brain dead, and that's what I need right now. I need to be catatonic.
Well, not for another 2 hours, Alex. I can't have you catatonic.
I'm already there. I am there, man.
Well, I live in Massachusetts, where the Kennedy family is our royal family. So may I suggest a Kennedy favorite, which is lobotomy?
No. Listen, for a hot second, when you just said, I live in Massachusetts, Evan, this is how brain dead I am right now. I almost interrupted him to say, no, you live in Boston. So just for...
That would have been the ultimate American moment of just like horrific geographical skills. And honestly, I'm kind of sad it didn't happen.
Yeah, so tonight the wheel is spinning, but the hamster is having a heart attack.
That little steaming hamster is dead on
Good night.
That poor little guy.
Okay, well, good news is I gave us all a ding for getting our glutes today, getting those cakes. Perfect. And for our audience back home, we've got some good stuff to talk about tonight. If you want to do your homework, you can look up Uniswap on TikTok. The preview is, the challenge is for everybody who's listening right now or listening in the future, you got to hit pause. go to Uniswap's page and you're looking for a video from 2 days ago, July 14th, and it's who are the best crypto content creators on TikTok. Okay, I want you to look for that video. I want you to see if you recognize any faces, and then come back ready to let us know what you think and let them know what you think. We're going to talk about the 3 bills that are in Congress, out for votes, not out for votes, deals that are being made, give you an update on that, and TBA, the best app, the Base Chain Wallet rebrand. Big news. Will was there. We got Mike in the comments. But first, I do have to tell you that every time you hear this sound, it means that somebody has gotten a point, and every time you hear this sound, it means somebody has lost a point, maybe someone who's speaking, maybe someone we're talking about. And this is a game we play on this do your own research, BYOB kind of show. Let our hair down to just see who's the best. And spoiler alert, it's probably going to be me because even though I'm on the soundboard, I'm active. And at the end of the night, if we reach an arbitrary amount of points that we deem is appropriate and necessary, someone in our audience will win a fabulous, fabulous prize. I actually have a really cool package that I just got from Saya, from our friend Nicole, who she's got to reschedule, but we want to have her on the show because they're doing a sort of a consumer initiative, but they have these killer wallets, like RFID protection wallets, and like a nice box, hold your cash, hold your card. And so something like that, maybe a morning show mug. Guys, I found the mug, and it's 2 mug kind of night. So that's how we're doing it here.
Double mugging,
dual fisting. And I wonder if maybe we can just do the, I won't say the boring part, but the congressional part first. Is it possible that we can get an update on the 3 bills that are in Congress, where they stand now? Because it's moving kind of quick. Don't you know it's crypto week?
It may feel like it's moving quick, but
it does feel like it's moving fast. It's moving pretty fast.
It kind of is. The turnaround on redoing. So they were voted on procedurally on Tuesday. None of them passed. They redid the vote today, and they all passed. This, in general, means nothing beyond the Spaceballs-esque moment of preparing to prepare. So they were voted on so that they could be voted on for real this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To the Senate.
They were redone. No. Yes.
Yeah. I was like, wait.
No. Sorry. No, I let you lead me astray. They're in the House right now.
But it just passed the House.
No.
It just blue.
No, listen to me, sweet baby cherub. They went to the Senate.
Uh-huh.
They left the Senate.
Uh-huh.
They went to the House. They're going to be voted on bigly. But first, before you do big vote, you have to do tiny vote.
Okay.
And tiny vote is procedural. And that's the one that just passed after failing yesterday.
So many votes.
Yes. Remember, just like in Spaceballs where you prepare to prepare, in Congress, you vote to vote to vote.
This is crazy.
It does feel like it's happening fast this week because there's a lot of back and forth and action.
Yeah.
Every time I check it, there's an update. But I will say this is a reflection of an ongoing process. The Genius Act is definitely the furthest along in terms of Congress is familiar with it. They've voted on voting on it enough times, talking about it enough times that they are used to it. And
there's always time for more, Evan. Always time for a little bit more.
What is going on with that? I just, the way it's going is forward, if slowly. And the others are in that process of making progress too, I guess.
And Will, what you might have been thinking about is that if enough changes happen once it leaves the Senate for round 1 and goes to the House, if enough amendments are introduced, it has to go back again to the Senate for reconciliation, which is just like, are we cool with what? Because this is not the one that we passed originally to give you. You changed it. How do we feel about this one now?
Okay.
So we still got a minute, but we are in what I would call the long part of the home stretch. We're like entering home stretch.
Before I ever put out a tweet or anything like that, I nearly need to wait for the episode here to then just have Alex explain how everything works in Washington. Because
nobody knows that.
I ain't got that shit. Nobody knows that. But you know more than me. That's for goddamn sure. Well, I'm like, well, they voted, so we're good now, right? It goes to the Senate. It's like, no. I'm like, what do you mean?
No.
What do you mean?
No. But they did say that we agree that we would like to vote on these again soon.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, in that case.
It's just like Alex said, the attention span of crypto is about to meet the speed of Congress. That's how I feel about it. You guys, you're well met on that. I don't think we have too many questions about it. Matthew says, I didn't know that was a thing prior to yesterday.
Sure is. Well, and different kinds of bills have different voting, like that. Not everything gets voted on the exact same way, but things that are like, I hate this term, but standard is, House, Senate, back to the House, back to the Senate if more reconciliation is needed, President.
Speaking of standard, do you know where I'd like to take it next? Alex, you told me a story about a video about a popular messaging standard. And yes. I don't know if you're prepared that you can just find it and get a screen share. If not, I can do it. But we can't play the video now, but I would love for you to tell people about that because we're hearing a lot about standards lately.
Yeah, this was funny. So a shout out to Technically Web3.
Our friend Adriano.
On TikTok. This was funny. Oh, there he is. Technically. So this was funny. I don't know as much about this as he does, so please feel free to correct me. It should be, I believe, his most recent video. I would think. I believe it's that one. So
Stitch with Glenn, yeah.
Yeah. This is about ISO 20022.
For a really long time. ISO 20022.
I don't know. Are they?
Is a language.
We're hearing it. Are they hearing it?
No, nobody's hearing it. They're hearing it.
I'm hearing it.
Now,
I'm hearing
it.
Really? That's amazing. I don't hear it. I'm so sorry. Hang on. Let me first of all pause it. I don't hear it at all. What a ripoff.
People on TikTok can't hear it.
Yeah, TikTok can't hear it. Okay, but it's okay. I'll summarize briefly. Basically, Adriano is defining what ISO 20022 is, which is a messaging standard for rich financial text data, information about transactions. And cryptocurrencies can comply with it because of the ability essentially to translate the thing into the format that it can be read by that standard. And that's what it's meant by ISO compliant. There are several cryptos that have done this already. The analogy that I made, whatever day that was, yesterday or the day before, Monday, I think, which was ISO day, the day that the switch got flipped, was kind of like saying this would be like trying to sell me mil-spec water wings and saying that adoption by the Marine Corps was inevitable because these water wings were mil-spec.
Okay.
Even though not only is the Marine Corps not shopping for water wings, but they definitely already have some. So he basically, what he did then with this was take ChatGPT and whip up with one relatively simple prompt, a little Python script that made Ethereum ISO compliant, basically like make the translation automatically. And it took him, what did it take you? 15 seconds, 20 seconds?
Nice.
And I just thought it was incredible. It was the funniest video I saw all day. And I wanted to give props for it because
it's compliant. Okay,
there
later.
It is.
He said in the comments, it's basically translating languages. Etherscan could put it into their Explorer if they wanted, under 1 minute for sure. Getting another point for that.
That's really funny, actually. This has been a super hot trend for 2 years. And there you go. It's all bupkis, everybody.
Bupkis. Yes.
Bupkis.
So
bupkis. Yes. I do like that we all have a little bit of a different vocabulary and we can all grab onto it a little bit and enjoy it. It's nice.
We have a really quick question that's sort of a sidetrack, but I think it's a good sidetrack. Great question from Joseph Cubador. Thanks for watching over there on YouTube. Do you guys know of any pools that pay out in Morpho? Off the top of your head? Anybody for a bonus point?
Not off the top of my head, but
I'd have to go look on Morpho. I'm sure there has to be one.
I could tell you where you could find out.
Well, I happen to have the resource at the ready, and I'm going to make bet that the first place you could get paid out in Morpho is, in fact, on Morpho.
Whoa.
Go figure.
So I am going to go to DeFiLlama.com. This show is not sponsored by DeFiLlama, but boy, we hope to make them look as good as we feel they are every day when they work. So we're going to Morpho. Now, if you've never used DeFiLlama before, they have this handy dandy search bar at the top. You can search for any protocol, meaning a company like Aave. You can search for any blockchain. You can compare chains. And once you get to a search result, you can look at a chart that you can add metrics to of all kinds. But what we want to see is we want to see the yields available on their platform. So I'm going to go to this bar at the top right here. At least I think this is where I want to go. And I'm going to click that yields. It's going to load. It tracks, you can see it gives you some information about the number of pools tracked, 452, the average APY, that's kind of cute. And we are looking for pools that pay out yield in Morpho. Maybe I need to go somewhere else. Where would you go for this? Maybe I would go to yield over here and then search for yields in Morpho. For whatever reason, it doesn't have this. So let me see tokens. Maybe it doesn't say that. Anybody? Bueller?
So for the breakdown of the specific, you might have to be on platform. Cool. So I would just look for pools and availability on Morpho specifically, and then probably would have to go to the platform itself to get an APY breakdown.
We're going to Morpho. This is app.morpho.org that we have transitioned to, and this is exactly what I want to see. I want to sort by APY. So generally speaking, you can see here what you're lending, and you can see the APY and what is paid out. Native APY means the asset that is being sent. But if they've got this little blue sprinkle, it usually means that they are paying out Morpho tokens.
Yeah, there you go.
In addition.
So there's a breakdown.
But I also want to see, I suspect probably the biggest places to get Morpho tokens would be a USDC vault or a Morpho vault, if there was one. I also, will correct me on this, is it true that participating in Morpho is how you get extra distributions of the Morpho tokens? Like, I don't know, they measure people's activity and they might distribute those to people who use the protocol. What's the, is it like Arrow does? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I unfortunately, I don't remember. I'd have to look up their white paper again to figure out what that is. But I don't know that off the top of my head right now. I am sorry. I have failed you.
It's okay. I'm grumping you both and giving myself a ding. I had the resources at the ready, so there you go.
Well, the first one was wrong, so you know.
It was fine. It was great. DeFiLlama is a great resource. Dang it.
It is a great resource. Didn't have the answer to the question, though.
No, it didn't. It didn't have the answer to the question.
Closer.
But it would get us closer, and that's where I would look, Joseph, is I would continue to pull that rabbit hole. And also, I think you could look on X. Probably they would post about it. There are probably good articles, threads. If it was something you're really interested in, jump in the Discord, find the link at theriseupmorningshow.com, anywhere in our bio, and we can open a thread, talk about it there, and chase it down. Folks in the Discord, good homework assignment, something worth looking into. Okay, Will, I would love to hear more. I was not able to attend the TBA announcement. The next day one is like the theme, I understand. And Base has been saying this is still day one for a long time. It sounded like the event, featuring a lot of speakers, some announcements, was like a rebrand of Base to the Base chain, or announcing a new part of it, TBA, the Base chain, with a new logo, a new revamp of Coinbase Wallet to include things like their new social media platform, secure messaging. I believe there's an announcement related to e-commerce and Shopify. And so you streamed the whole thing.
Yeah, I streamed the whole thing near the end of my workout, my way back home, and then just kind of getting ready for the show, was listening to it. So the not exciting thing, I'll start with that. And there are exciting things here. So Base has done a rebrand, which at first you should be like, oh, right, so it's dead. Like, that's my initial take when it first has a rebrand. So now Base is no longer a circle, it's a square, and it's no longer called Base, it's called Base Chain. Okay, that's the not exciting thing. Now let's get into some of the exciting stuff. Base is now 10 times faster with a technology that's called flash blocks. So the goal of Base when it first started was, we want Base to be, when you use a transaction, less than a penny, and transactions happen in less than a second. Now it happens in 200 microseconds is what happens. So Base is now 10 times faster. That means everything on Base is basically real time. So, you know, Aerodrome will have real-time transactions and more real-time data feeds of pricing. Morpho transactions will be better. All transactions will be faster. AI agents built on Base will be able to give you answers much more quickly, be able to build out more complex prompts faster and execute them. So everything will be faster. So that's good, great, and grand. That was the first thing they said. I was like, okay, that's cool. I kind of figured that would be it. And then they started announcing that they're like, hey, we built the Coinbase wallet. We built these social platforms. You know, we have Zora. We have what's the Twitter-esque app?
You're talking about Farcaster.
Farcaster, like we have Farcaster. You know, we've built out all this stuff, and I was a little worried they're going to say like, we've built all this out, and now the masses are ready. And I was like, oh no, like they're not connecting all the rest of the pieces. And they're like, but all those apps are all separate from one another. When you go on your phone, and I thought this was meaningful. It's like when you go on your phone and you want to send money to somebody because you were on like a trip with friends and there was some like dinner expenses, you know, you go to Venmo or PayPal or what have you. If you text somebody, you pull up your messaging app and you text them. If you upload a picture of you guys hanging out up to Twitter or Instagram or whatever, you go into those apps too. There are all these walled gardens. They're like, now the Coinbase wallet is now called the Base app, TBA, the Base app. And the Base app is trying to take all of that and put it into one single experience. So in one app, you can message your friends. In one app, you can post content. In one app, you can create a bet and make it public with a friend. You can also pay your friend internationally on Base Pay. It's called Base Pay now. And I was like, okay, well, like that's cool. So, you know, just like a one-stop shop everything app. I was like, that's cool. A lot of people are talking about that, though. There are going to be a lot of everything apps out there. I was like, what else you got? And then they said, everything that you as a creator make, and there's something here for consumers of content as well, if you don't make any content. But as a creator of content, you can post on the Base app, and you can make money off of that, no matter how big of an audience you are. Because on TikTok, you have to have 10,000 followers in order to start making money off of your videos. And it's only videos more than a minute long. Instagram, I forget, everyone has their qualifications. YouTube has it as well. You have to like hit certain marks before you can get paid. Now on the Base app, you can just start posting and you can get paid. And if you have a post that goes viral immediately out the gate, you can get paid off that out the gate, which is cool. And also for consumers, if one of your favorite creators or someone posts and you're like early to it and you see it gets posted, you can actually buy a token for that post. And if it goes viral, you can also profit off of that creator's post. So I have to understand a little bit more about that, but it's interesting. They've also incorporated tipping for content creators as well, which is already super popular on Twitch. They've done a bunch of stuff for creators and consumers of content. Also, like a lot of like just using the blockchain to like protect creators. So honestly, for me, I was like, oh shit, like I would own my account and my page because it's connected to my on-chain identity. It's on-chain. I own this. It can't get like shut down because TikTok, I get reported by a ring of extortionists, which if you guys don't know, actually happened to me. And I'll get it back in months, apparently. And, you know, and so I was like, okay, like this is cool. And then they had Gary Vee come on and talk, and he didn't really say too much that I found particularly interesting, but Gary Vee is cool and has a huge audience. And, you know, he just drew parallels to the early days of the internet. And he's like, yeah, it's cool that you guys are trying to like bring everybody here and kind of break down the walls of the internet and make a more seamless internet, like a more seamless experience of the internet. Things that's cool. He also had a couple other people up, but like, you know, that was essentially it. And I didn't catch if there's a new app, but you guys said there's a new app, I think. So I'll have to download it and play with it. And I'll be curious about taking my videos and posting it on the Base app and, you know, experimenting with it a little bit as a creator. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that was announced.
I have some details to add.
From Shopify as well. But yeah, adding some details.
Go ahead. Shopify, tell them.
Oh yeah, so Shopify has been in the crypto game for a very, very, very long time. They've been trying to incorporate crypto payments and stuff. And Shopify, it's a very big web commerce solution to pay for stuff at web-based shops. And they are incorporating Base Pay into Shopify. It's going to be available for a few 10,000 online stores and then it's going to be slowly rolled out even more to all of them. The other thing that's cool is base pay directly on your phone in the apps, kind of like with Apple Pay or the Android wallet. You can have the tap to pay with your phone. You'll be able to do that with USDC as well, and you can pay people on chain with USDC, which will be neat. That's advantageous for businesses because they can conduct transactions without having that 1% to 4% credit card fee. Also, there are incentives right now where if you're using your USDC for payments on on Shopify, you get 1% cash back on all of your transactions in USDC. And you're also going to qualify for a number of other rewards as well on Shopify and in Base. And yeah, seems good.
Matt, Amsfar says, especially if USDC is worth $2. And Matt asked, is there a base chain that this base networks that benefit from this specifically? Doesn't sound like it. And I would say the answer is really Base, of course, and ETH, and certainly Coinbase. If you want to see everything that Will talked about, I have found this article right here I'm showing on the screen. It is also in the Rise Up Discord, Base's next chapter, everything we announced at day one. And the last thing I want to share is details from that article. So part of all those social experiences, somebody else in the chat asked, what's like the benefit of having socials with a wallet? This is because you have several different players here with killer apps that they're bringing, like our friends at Remix, formerly Farcade. So you can explore mini apps like Remix right in your feed. You can play games on chain. You can create them. You can share them, remix them. Need to know how to code. There's one called Noise that supports content creators. Auto tipping, kind of like Will talked about for collecting their posts or posting content to earn. And then co-creation of pictures. Zora is like the first example, but other stuff too. You'll really be able to own your social profile. At least they say that, and I'm curious to get to experience it.
Also, our boy Chuck was on stage.
Our boy Chuck was on stage, so we got to give big points to Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he was killer.
Yeah, they had him up for, he did his 1-2 minute pitch about Remix. Gave a quick little overview, and they were going through like a whole bunch of the mini apps. They had some filmmakers up as well, talking about how it's going to like change the way they make film also. So that was intriguing. Evan, I think you'll particularly find that interesting.
I look forward to learning more about it. Marky Mark said, can I be honest? The games are awful. Anyone can create a game, but I think if that's what the barrier is, anyone can create soon. When more people use it and know how to use it, the games will be better. It'll democratize it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Alex, I've been waiting to hear what your commentary on this all is. We haven't seen a token yet.
You'll never see a token. Thank God.
We better not. I will be the first one to decry it when it happens, if it happens. I really hope it doesn't. In my humble opinion, it's one of the biggest things they have going for them. Not that my opinion means a tremendous amount. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I love seeing new shit come out. I want to test out new stuff. I want to see if it's any good, and if it's not good, then I want to see people receive feedback and do stuff. But no, I think it's cool as hell. I was just pulling up a comparison for this Flash blocks idea, just to do some light reading on it later. So made a bookmark for myself about what that is, what that means. And cover it. I'll do some reading tonight and talk about it tomorrow morning. And then I was specifically trying to find, because one of the claims made by this was that it makes it, I'm going to reiterate this to say, one of the fastest EVM networks. And that's what Adriana was mentioning down there. I think it would be cool to do some sort of comparative analysis between EVM chains. Some of them are not, like Mega ETH, for example. That's kind of their whole shtick. Fast as hell. Advertised to be faster than this Flash blocks thing, but in practice, hard to say. You know what they say about transactions per second? A lot of that is tested, like telling me what a car's miles per gallon is when you put it in neutral and roll it down a hill with the wind at its back, kind of thing.
Yeah. Also, at the same time, like once you're below 0.2 of a second, like who cares?
Well, in that sense, I would say like there's a gap, and I would be curious to hear an engineer's take on this, because I'm not I wouldn't claim to know this confidently enough to say this like without pause, but my understanding at least is that once you get to a certain gap, then the problem becomes programs that can do things in the interim. And if something else can be still faster, then there's still time for this idea of MEV, the ability to attack transactions as they are attempted before they finalize, which is what this idea of latency is. You know, the faster you make things, the harder it is to attack them as they happen. Reordering transactions or manipulating based on slippage and all this kind of stuff.
Like that Pokemon episode where to beat Lieutenant Surge, Pikachu had to use its speed.
Were you smiling because you were excited to make a pop culture reference?
Yes, but I was also smiling because Amspar said in the chat about your opinion not mattering. He said, no, your opinion, you hold weight. It matters. And I said, are you calling him fat?
No, he's calling me weighty, which is very different.
Oh, weighty.
Yeah.
Opinion's got heft to it.
It was just making me laugh. But to your point, there's less surface area for an attack. If you can't see it because it's moving too quick, you can't catch it. That is useful. But really, even at that low latency, it's so fast. It's faster than the Quickster.
Computers are fast, man.
Computers are fast, man.
Computers are fast, man.
That was a reference to the Hex website from many years ago. One of my favorite excoriating videos that I ever posted of that was where I highlighted a portion of their website where literally, as they were explaining why this stuff mattered, they literally wrote the phrase, computers are hard.
Computers
are
direct quote from a purported genius.
Wait, isn't something happening with Hex? Didn't they do like a migration or something? I saw something about it on Twitter and I just don't pay attention.
That's ages ago. And honestly, it doesn't matter. I don't want to give, I regret saying their name.
Yeah.
They're like Beetlejuice. And I'm already going to get death threats just from what I just said.
Again.
I swear to God, they have like a tracker on me. And if I ever mention it, then they start yelling at me on Twitter.
I really enjoy it when it happens.
Yeah, maybe
so
the
aggressive.
Morning Show Twitter
so
account
aggressive.
Can take a stance, can put a flag in the sand about that.
No, just leave me alone.
Just leave me alone, please. Leave me alone. Okay, we had one more thing, speaking of leave me alone, that I had on our list to touch on before. Of course, I'd like to remind you, you can ask us a question. If you've got something you want to hear about, let us know. Leave it in the chat. I'm going to open it up. Will and Alex will share their ideas too. We'll look at some stuff. But I want to know about this Uniswap video. I teased it at the start.
Okay.
Can you tell me what's going on?
Yeah, so here I am, minding my own business, scrolling on the TikTok, and I come across our friends at Uniswap Labs with their most recent video. And the caption is, who are the best crypto content creators on TikTok, with the pondering face. And then the video opens with Nico asking Chase if she's seen the content on crypto TikTok, which I found to be an interesting opening considering that this video was posted on Uniswap Labs' official TikTok account. So I guess do with that what you will. But I found the opening to be a little telling of how out of touch they are. And I really do truly say this with love because I'm a big Uniswap fan, but this video really kind of got under my skin a little bit. So this opening video here, it covers a handful of creators, a smattering of creators in this sort of like rapid fire blitz of snapshots and little tiny screen grabs from a few different videos. And it's kind of like played in super fast motion to double down on this idea that crypto content on TikTok is not good. And granted, I even admitted in my comment on the video that there's certainly drivel being posted here, but they put Will and Himu in this clip, which to me just says, we didn't watch any of this. We don't know what we're talking about. And we're just trying to make a point in this kind of weird, like semi-backhanded manner. I really don't understand what the point of this video was. If you're looking for like, if the caption asks to hear like who are the good creators over here, and then what you do is immediately just take a completely random sampling of people who have very little to do with each other than the fact that they do post in in the same niche, but all the content was different. I mean, it was like meme coin shillers and Hemu and Will in the same clip, which is just very interesting to me. It really just says like, hey, we didn't watch anything. We probably just went to to TikTok, wrote in #crypto, and just found the top 15 videos and just like took a quick thing. We didn't watch a single one of them. So I'm really curious. I would be really curious just to hear like what the plan was, what they actually thought was going to come out of this. I'll throw a tiny bit of shade because I'm feeling defensive of my friends who were put in that video to say like anybody who looks at the Uniswap Labs TikTok account can tell beyond a shadow of a doubt very quickly that a large handful of the early videos were botted to hell. It looks like views were purchased. And I respect someone coming into a new platform. It's what I ask for all day, every day. I'm constantly trying to get people in the industry to share things in a different place. The audience is different. It's insane that you could walk into TikTok and say like the content here sucks. And I've seen that come out of a lot of Twitter people, which is so rich considering how much absolute dog shit is posted on Twitter. And yet it's like lauded as being the home of the industry. When I think the best way I ever heard it described was Matthew Buxton saying it's just a messaging app for people who work here, but it's really not meant to educate anyone about anything. And so it's interesting that like your first foray into a new platform that you have very little experience on, and by all accounts are still trying to figure out and still in the midst of posting your first couple dozen videos. And it was to take weird shots at creators who are here doing stuff. And there are plenty of shots you can take. Like if you want to find some ridiculous videos about someone shilling XRP to $100,000 and calling you an idiot for not buying it, or some meme coin and saying you have to buy this, do that, whatever, great. How are you going to take one of Hemu's morning updates and put it in there? How are you going to take Will talking about ETF inflows and outflows and tracking economic data and macro trends across the globe? How are you going to put that in the same thing? The only way you would do that is one, you're an idiot, or two, you didn't watch any of the videos. And I'm inclined to think it was the latter. So Uniswap, huge fan, huge. Literally, I broke my DeFi cherry with you guys. Big fan. Been there ever since. It's been years. I've also been doing this for longer than I was doing that. And I think you know, like that we're here and that we would love to be involved and we would love to help. And I would ask humbly all of you guys who hang out with us, who watch us, who enjoy the show, who think that there is something worth exploring on this particular platform, talking to you TikTok, to head over to the Uniswap Labs profile and just leave them a polite comment on that video and recommend some of the people that you think are worth looking at and paying attention to.
And why?
And why.
Yeah.
And who you are.
Write a good comment. And yeah, exactly. Because that was my final point to them.
Here in the comments, you know, like I'm at 76. I'm 12.
Yep.
I live in Singapore. I live in Mumbai. I live in Denver.
That was my final point to them was, look, there's trash everywhere. You can either contribute to it or you can try to do something better. If you're not going to do something better, then don't put the people down who are trying to do something better. Just post your trash and enjoy it. Whatever. Have your fun.
And
but
Uniswap,
I don't. Whatever this is, it ain't it.
Yeah, and Uniswap, if you ever see this and you see all the comments and stuff, come on the show, talk to us, hang out.
Yes, come on.
Open invitation.
You'll have a great time, and we'd love to talk to you, and people would love to hear from you and ask questions. So
yeah, they don't trust you like they could. Man.
How about giving us some fucking credit?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like, who the fucking what?
I just couldn't resist it.
I don't think I've heard that sound before, so I was like,
it's
what
a
is
new
what is
sound
going
to the soundboard? It's DJ Quigs. We've got some new sounds.
Oh,
and
DJ Willie Quigs.
Alex was given that perfect, you know, like presidential speech. Someone said, Alex, that if you were the president, I'd vote for you. You guys are the bomb. And that was a mic drop moment. So I just had to throw a little Willie Quigs on it.
We're not talking shit about.
No, yeah,
about my people.
You know, we love you. We have
swing and a miss, Uniswap. I love you, but swing and a miss.
Thanks,
That's right.
Dad.
You're welcome, son.
Hey, they also, I did like the video they picked. It's in my like brightest, flashiest blue suit. I was like, ooh,
dude. Okay, if
You
you're
didn't get the dolphin.
that's
I
see,
know,
that was
right?
my final.
You didn't grab the dolphin. Like they could have grabbed a dolphin video of me dressed up as like I'd be like, all right, on paper, on pure face value, yeah, complete trash posting.
Valid.
There's good info coming out of that dolphin's mouth, though. Let me tell you.
Yeah, but they didn't do that.
Did we just double it?
We doubled it, yeah.
We're on the same. We are like evolving like dolphins. We're on the same communication.
Yeah, dude.
So I will say, just because it didn't happen during that, and if it did, they deserve another one. There's
Oh no, they already got one, so that's 2 Uniswap.
that's 2. Sorry.
Painful.
Okay. Anyway, that's enough.
All right. So transitioning, let me remind you, if you've got a question, you got something you want to share, then let us know in the comments. We would really love it if you would let Uniswap know, like they're welcome here. But you know, you're in our house. Take your shoes off and like have you a plate and come talk to us. Pepsi asked what decks we use, like top 5. And I got to tell you,
That's why I'm salty, because that's
number one
the
was a
big
bullet.
one
Yeah, you used Uniswap for years.
all the time.
Dude, I Uniswap was not, maybe it was where I did my first swap, maybe not, but if not my first, it has always been.
Dude, it was a bunch of
Amazing.
firsts.
It was
my
the first decentralized exchange I ever went to, and then I
There you go.
didn't swap because I was confused by it. Yeah.
It was first swap. It's the first protocol that I ever connected a wallet to that wasn't like a centralized exchange.
Wow.
It's the first place I ever provided liquidity. It was an ETH uni pair, and I screwed it up, and I lost money because I had no clue what I was doing.
Yeah, classic. Yeah.
It was that classic moment where I did that, it went wrong, and then I was like, wait, impermanent what? And then I started Googling.
Impermanent what? Gone forever. But who do I call?
I made the impermanent permanent, and then I started reading about what I did.
But Mr. Buterin.
In there, man.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's Aerodrome and Radium.
Aerodrome and Radium, both great
Yeah.
DEX experiences.
Yep, use them
Amsfar
both.
said Jupiter in the comments. Do you guys feel okay about Jupiter? I like Jupiter a lot too.
I use Jupiter a lot also, but also if you're using Jupiter, aren't you using Radium?
That's right. It's
Yeah,
a
and
wrap.
if you're using Jupiter, you're using Radium.
But there are
it
other
is.
services on Jupiter, I think, that don't
Yes.
necessarily go through Radium, right?
True. That's true. Yeah, I've used, other than Radium and Aerodrome, Jupiter is probably in the number 3 spot.
Interesting, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, it's Uniswap, it's Aerodrome, it's Radium, it's Jupiter. I also do just honestly native swaps in the app, which route to a couple different places. I've used a bunch. Orca, Meteora. Not these not so much. These are more just like, you know, on occasion, or honestly just like for learning and for the experience of the thing. But no, I mean those 3 are the go-to.
But oftentimes, like, I just do a lot of swaps in my wallet too, which then uses that stuff in the back end, you know, because it's like, oh, I can just do this. It's nice and fast. It's, you know, unless, of course, there's like a large slippage showing up, then I'm like, okay, hang on a second. Let's do a little bit more detailed approach here.
Yeah.
Yeah, wallet swaps have come such a long way for people
they're
listening.
nice.
When we really started to get into this, like you had to get a wallet, then navigate either from your wallet's browser, if it had one, or from your internet browser somewhere. You know, you had to use crypto on like a device, and not everybody. I certainly wasn't using a dedicated device for like all my stuff. I would just go on my computer because it was all I didn't even know how to use it. And you would connect to this thing, and now pretty much every wallet you use has got a swap feature. Many of them have bridge features. Many of them support multiple chains. And
It's really nice.
I mean, it's so much easier to use stuff like that. And even I think about Banana Gun, like that's not a DEX, but it's a wallet inside Telegram that is definitely connecting to decentralized exchanges to do all kinds of stuff for you in the background. And it's so much smoother than it ever was when we first started, when Uniswap was like the only game in town. I don't know. I love Uniswap. It's a great DEX.
So Mike just asked, what about Phantom? And I'm going to use this as an opportunity to show you something cool. So stall.
Oh,
Hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. Hello, my
Thank you.
I can get naked again. That video got taken down.
Yeah, I
didn't
bet.
post it.
I bet it did.
It made it to like 37,000 and it got taken down.
I saw it and I liked it, and I really debated with myself. I didn't know it had been taken down, but I debated trying to
I
get
invested
a
in that
screenshot
video
to do the
early.
screen share.
Yeah, you did. You invested that in the video early. Well, now it's just sitting on Violet's phone.
Oh my gosh, it's a national treasure. That's an NFT.
We'll put it on base. Put it on chain. It'll be the first one I post.
Okay. All right. I got a screenshot.
Ready?
Check this out.
Okay, here it comes.
Yeah. Okay. So Mike's comment was, or question was, what about Phantom as we're talking about DEXs? And my reply was that is a wallet, but you can swap natively in it. And that's one of the things we were just talking about. So like, for example, I took some Solana profit today, just did it right in the Phantom app. Didn't need to connect it to anything, just hit swap, changed a couple Sol into USDC. This is that transaction. So we have all of our usual blah, 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 whatever stuff. But here are all of the pieces that went into completing this transaction. As you can see here, Evan, I'm going to zoom in over on this side.
Orca.
That's you.
Yep. So
yeah, so you used Orca. Nice.
Yep. Yeah, looks like Orca was the winner there.
Where are you seeing this? I don't see it on the small screen. Orca.
Right here.
It's you see the
Orca.
logo. That's
yeah.
Orca.
Beautiful.
Yep. So basically what we're seeing here is that there's me, demonic.soul. And then here's all the stuff that happened as a result of me making that swap. So basically what happens inside of platforms like this, and I'm sure that there's exceptions, this is not like the end all be all. This is not like how every single one of them works, just this one. But see, so here we touched something on Jito over here. I don't know what BPF is, but there was something there. We jumped into whatever this place is that has a whole bunch of souls. So that's obviously some sort of liquidity thing. Here we've got examinations of, is this, I don't know, just more of the liquidity
that sounds
providing?
like yeah, I think so.
Here's some soul wrapping going on. Like there's a whole bunch that went into this
A lot
kind
of
thing.
transactions in one transaction, man.
Wrapped ETH stuff. Yeah, and the whole thing happened in less than a second, which was pretty
probably
cool.
because they are pulling all the liquidity from many places so as to have like minimize the impact of like the price. They just take a drop of water from every pool, so they don't change the price, they don't affect the market, and it doesn't cause slippage. Because the more volatility there is, the less liquidity there is, the more likely the transaction is to fail, the more it's likely to cost. Then all kinds of things happen. So they have really done a really good job of like bundling this together in a button you click, and it's called a swap.
So the part that the reason I highlight this is because you can go, this is SolScan. So SolScan, just like EtherScan, is a Solana blockchain explorer. It's just a place you can go to get more information from the Solana blockchain. Every single blockchain has an explorer, at least one. Many of them have multiple. But I just highlight this just to show you that like there's a bunch of stuff that goes on in the background. And in this particular instance, there was a whole bunch of different pieces that went into making just that one simple swap.
I want to add, that's a really good carry on from our talk this morning about Web3 101. Something we were talking about a lot today was the private key, your private key, and how it authorizes the sending, but really it's the reassigning of information. There are all these private keys interacting behind the scenes for protocols like Orca. For every smart contract is like a thing on this ledger, but all it is computers that are maintaining this record of permissions. Those Orca pools have given permission to a particular contract, a computer code, to move money in and out within certain limits. And that is all over this stuff again and again and again. There are private keys owned by people, by protocols. We don't need to know each other. We don't need to trust each other. We don't need to sit down and have a meeting. We don't need somebody's approval. Tiffany can be on her lunch break, and this stuff is just running. It's verifying the ownership, the permission, and it runs. And it's so fast. It really is a good conversation. If you missed that conversation today and you're struggling still to like understand this stuff, you bought something and you're overwhelmed with wallets and keys and you're having a hard time navigating the space. Maybe you're losing a lot of money or losing a lot of sleep. That's a good conversation to get yourself abreast of. And that was a natural continuation of it. So thanks for the tidbit and giving you a point for the good lesson. And I'm giving me a point for ending the screen share before you judge me.
Rigged.
Yeah.
Man.
This is some bullshit.
It's a bullshit.
Yeah. This morning, did you guys also cover the PPI inflation?
No.
Yeah, Will.
was gonna ask you to do it.
Evan and I sat here and we talked about inflation data.
I just,
Surprise.
it feels good to be needed.
Yeah, no, it turns out we don't need you anymore. Evan and I became macroeconomics experts this morning, and we did a great job. And
Damn.
Everybody would totally say that. Don't listen to
Man,
them if they
anything's
say otherwise.
possible with ChatGPT nowadays.
Honestly, no. I'd still be like looking at like, wait a second. No, I didn't say the wrong thing and read the wrong number. Wouldn't know what I'm looking at. So no, we absolutely did not talk about it. But is there?
Will walking up asking us, did you talk about the PPI?
Hey there, normies. Like maybe you reported on it at least, and some people are going to get some double information.
We left it for you, man. So tell us, is it good news? Is it bad news? Because we got some bad news already this week, huh?
Yeah, it's good news. It's good news for inflation. So just to set the table, we got CPI inflation the other day that came in. It was a decent increase month over month. It was let's see, I have it written down here. In May, regular inflation came in at 2.4%. In June, it came in at 2.7%. Core CPI, which is the measurement of the cost of goods that we pay for at when you buy a car or rent a car, at the grocery store, at the gas pump, your rent, your mortgage, all that kind of stuff, right? Core CPI is the measurement of inflation minus food and energy, because those are very volatile markets that go up and down all the time. So get rid of those, and core gives you a much better sense as to what true inflation is. In May, that was 2.8%. In June, that was 2.9%. So inflation month over month went up for the stuff that we pay for, right? That's not the news that we got this morning. The news that we got this morning is called PPI inflation. This is the measurement of the cost of goods rising in business-to-business transactions or B2B transactions. So if you're a retailer, you get your goods from a manufacturer. If you're a manufacturer, you get raw materials from farms and other folks. If you're an automotive company, you probably get automotive parts from a whole bunch of people, right? These are B2B transactions, okay? So in June, we got PPI data that was really good. It was really good. And it came in at 2.3% in core PPI, again, removing energy and food, came in at 2.6%. In May, so the month prior, regular was 2.7%. So that was 0.4% higher. And core was at 3.2%, which is 0.6% higher. So this is a very large swing for B2B inflation of goods. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to see that lowering of inflation reflected in the items that we purchase day to day in CPI inflation, because there's a lag. It's about a 1 to 3 month lag, because businesses, whether inflation that they're experiencing goes up or down, they don't just make the change immediately. They want to see if this is a flash in the pan or if inflation rising or lowering is a trend and it's continuing. And then they take those either cost increases or cost decreases and push them towards the consumer. Okay, so we got good inflation data, which was really, really nice, because it says that, hey, in the future, CPI might start cooling a little bit, which is great to hear, because it came in a little bit hot. So that is the macro update from an inflation standpoint. And we care about all this because we would love to see interest rates to be cut, but that's not going to happen if inflation is sticky. So we'll see what happens.
Will, is there we've talked a lot on the show about how ridiculous the news about Jerome Powell stepping down is for a variety of reasons, but I saw recently a tweet that appeared to be credible. I don't know though, because I'm not in that world, about someone who maybe a congressperson saying Jerome Powell might be getting fired tomorrow. I think I saw it today or yesterday. I'm sure it's
no. President Trump is investigating Jerome Powell.
Okay.
Which, I mean, he's done nothing on the grounds that a head of the Fed could ever be fired for.
So check yourself, brother. Nice.
But also, a lot of people are speculating, and this is not my idea. This is from the Kobisi letter, who is a fantastic Twitter page to follow if you want macroeconomic news. If you want like the facts printed out to you, and then they kind of speculate a little bit on it. Phenomenal Twitter page. Couldn't recommend them enough if you want some macro. Again, the Kobisi letter. They're great. They reported on a lot of analysts speculating that Trump put out the news that he's going to create an investigation committee on Jerome Powell, and immediately the stock market dropped 1%. Like it was like a half percentage point, 1 percentage point, which is very large for the stock market. And then Trump, right afterwards, near the end of the day, or a few hours afterwards, said, no, they're actually not going to do anything like that. And then market bounced back up. So there's a lot of speculation that Trump wanted to see how the market would react to it, and then saw that there was a negative reaction and then walked it back.
Yeah, the straw that's being grasped at for this one, because of course there are people who would like to fire him. And I will just say, just because it's worth it, and I don't think misinformation gets called out enough
to fire him. Anyway,
he gave a speech just about like what a terrible job he's doing ever since Biden appointed him. Just for the record, Trump appointed him.
Yeah, Trump did appoint him.
Fact check yourself, brother.
But no, the straw that was being grasped at was budgetary overspend for a large-scale renovation project, which is under investigation or like has been probed. And actually, after that came back out again as a potential reason that the administration might seek to try to remove him on the grounds of, Powell came out and said, will you please investigate this and like put me on the stand kind of thing. So it is.
You're telling me he said, fact check yourself, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, cool, man, give me a mic. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. And it is an objective truth, it seems, that the budget for this particular renovation is grossly overspent. So, you know, again, seems like an instance of government inefficiency, which, go figure, couldn't be the U.S. government. I would be curious to get more information about it, just because the budget on that thing is insane. But there's also a lot of nonsense being talked about, like why it's so insane. Everything costs money. I think there's a whole bunch of different reasons that went into it. But I mean, if that's the reason, then I'm sure it'll get brought up. So we'll see what happens.
Also, saw this comment from U4TM Radio over on YouTube. Thanks to the comment. He is not leaving in January, though. Jerome Powell's term ends at the end of March of next year. Just FYI. So a few more months.
Correct.
I don't know if in the military there's a thing called terminal leave. I don't know if government employees take that kind of thing.
It sounds like you died or got killed.
Yeah, right. I was like, terminal leave. I was like, wow, just say they died.
Terminal is in technically the leave doesn't end, so hence the name. But it's just like it's if you stacked vacation time before the end, like before you would separate from government service or military service, you go on leave terminally, and then just kind of roll that right into your separation. Like my separation ended technically in March of 22, but I went on terminal leave at the end of January.
I'm going to put you on terminal leave if you keep acting up.
I put myself on terminal leave.
We have a really good question in the audience that I'd like to address on the way back. Can we do a DeFi detour, or maybe like a Rise Up rewind to DeFiLlama? Again, Alex, can you pull that up? Because Exit Velo had a question. What specifically are we looking for when researching coins in the llama? But on the way there, I want to let people know, if you are watching or listening to us like right now on any of the socials that are listed at the Rise Up Morning Show website, like TikTok, like YouTube, like the podcasting platforms that we live on, then you are listening to our real accounts. And if you're like watching us live, like me waving my arms like this is me. Like the AI, maybe it could fake it, but who has that much money and why are they coming after us? If you are having trouble with impersonators, duplicate accounts, scammers, this is the best way to verify you are in touch with us. You can tap our faces on the screen, click the names of our profiles wherever you're watching or listening, and make sure those are the accounts you're following, because we only communicate from official accounts. We're never going to reach out to you first directly to offer investment advice in a DM, to ask you how your investments are going, my brother in Christ, or inshallah, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It is a scammer, and we will only communicate with you through the official channels, which is why you must commit to memory the name of the show, The Rise Up Morning Show, because we live all this stuff at theriseupmorningshow.com. Okay. I say it every single episode because it's really important. You can find all our socials there. You can find the link to the Discord community there where the show lives 24/7, the recordings. You can find free downloads like the Web3 101 glossary. Will teaches a whole class on technical analysis you can get on demand. I mean, there's everything. The morning show mug, the only thing missing there is you. So get the good scoop there and don't fall for the impersonators. Alex, how did I do? Did I
Stall.
get you
You
to
did.
DeFiLlama?
You did stall long enough for me to go to DeFiLlama.com. Yes, thank you.
Maybe a little too long. You've been waiting. Trying to tell me, sweetheart.
No, it was great. It was great.
All right. Okay.
So I was going to say we can do an overview here. The long and short of it, though, is that there's a tremendous amount of information that you can get from this place. So it kind of really depends like what you're going for. Let's do a couple examples. Just to kind of draw. But honestly, what I would genuinely say is just go here and like poke around. And then you will like every day I go over here, I'm like, oh, they have that too. And then that just kind of gets added to it's the ultimate Swiss Army knife of stuff.
Can you tell us the skills that we'll need to know though to like poke? Because this is kind of overwhelming if you're looking at it for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just data. This is just getting information. So, it's only as sexy as it can be. But I would say that the more important stuff, so the basics, obviously, standard, you got a menu over here that is mostly full of jargon. So if you don't know what the terms mean, then these are all great candidates for, asking your GPT research assistant or some enthusiastic Googling. But up on the top here, you'll have, so if you just go to the homepage, you'll see an overview of the entire industry. And then underneath this top bar here, there's just a whole bunch of different blockchains you'll see listed. These are in order from most TVL to least, most TVL being Ethereum and TVL being total value locked right here, which is as the tooltip says, some value of all coins held in smart contracts of all the protocols on all the chains. So this is the total value locked of all DeFi across the entire industry, 172.64 billion. Ethereum is 100 billion of that.
Not too shabby.
In second place, just to draw the line, in second place is Solana with 11.5 billion. So the difference between first and second place is a casual $90 billion. Yeah. So this is just another one of those reasons why it's a little silly when people say ETH is dead. It may be expensive, but it's still where
well,
the
they're not
industry
saying
lives.
that anymore.
No.
Not over the past week. ETH is king right now, baby.
Yeah, not anymore. However, so once you click into any of these networks, we'll just use ETH as an example, you start to get just a whole bunch of other information. And this little block here is just kind of like your standard info block with a lot of important stuff. Anything with an underline on it can be hovered over to get a little bit of an explanation as to what it is. So market cap of stablecoins on Ethereum, 125 billion, whole bunch of stablecoins over there. How many fees has the network generated? $3 million worth in the last 24 hours. The chain has made $2 million worth of revenue in the past 24 hours. App revenue, app fees. So these are now specific pieces of fees and revenue generated just by applications. So the difference here would be like between chain fees and app fees. Fees paid by all users on the chain, including stuff like gas, and then app revenue would be, or app fees rather, additional fees paid into specific applications. A whole bunch of stuff. And you can look up any of this for any of these networks. So any network that has stuff on it will give you whatever readouts it can. Now, one disclaimer that's worth noting here is that DeFiLlama only shows information that is available to be viewed, and not all information about all things Web3 are available to be viewed.
Our friends at the Stellar Foundation famously said that that's not well reported on, right?
Yeah. So like if you went over here and you looked for Stellar, you would see $100 million when, there's probably 10 times more than that in just one protocol, but it's not reported. Not everything has to be reported. DeFiLlama has disclaimers kind of all over the place and in their Discord and stuff that like, hey, the information that we get as much as we can. We can't get everything. So, give us a break. And if you have a different way for us to get additional information, then let them know. Especially if you see something, misreported. But some of those like Hedera, Ripple, Stellar, networks like that have some more like private clients, don't publish all of it. Or it's not even queryable. It's up to the individual protocols. It's not always up to the networks. Beyond that, like I said, just kind of poke around. So like if I was going to give an example of something I might want to do, if if someone was asking me about, like good dexes to pay attention to, or, potentially, ones with their own tokens that might be worth looking at, for example, that is something that you could do by going over here on the side to, let's just start with protocols. Okay. So here we've got top protocols by blockchain. You have each of these networks again, and then what the category of the protocol named is, and then what the protocol specifically is. So for example, the biggest protocol on ETH is, for liquid staking rather, would be Lido. Biggest one for lending, Aave. Not a surprise. Eigenlayer, biggest platform for restaking, et cetera, et cetera. And what you could do with any of these, if you wanted to know, so let's say you were thinking about, I don't know, Morpho. Here we were just talking about them. So here's Morpho's page. Just like you could get with the ecosystem itself, you can get TVL, total value locked again. Yes.
Can I pause you to say $7.8 billion total value locked in a world where we only have $170 billion in total value locked for one protocol?
Yeah.
You see why I've been making videos on them?
Dude.
And look, I mean, it's just up.
Yeah,
it was 4 billion in May.
The coolest thing about it, and this is just the thing I'll say, is in their version 2 upgrade that they did, they got 2 security certifications needed for traditional financial organizations to adopt the technology. So Morpho and Marinade are the 2 like decentralized applications that I see like really being positioned for adoption from a staking standpoint, Marinade, and a lending standpoint, Morpho. But nothing comes close to Morpho because they're on Ethereum.
Yeah. But Marinade is nice because it has room to grow.
Yeah. And also they have that Hadley connection.
Dude, Hadley Stern with a name built for financial relationship making.
I should text him again and be like, hey dude, you want to come back on the show?
I would love to have Hadley back on the show to talk about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Can I point out a fun question that we have that just caused me to totally lose it? And I want you to hear this. Amy C asks, what does it mean to say gas? And Water Tiger immediately responded, too much beans.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's gold. It's fantastic. I love that. But gas is a transaction fee that you pay in order to make the transact.
That's exactly right. Too much beans also.
Too much beans also.
Are you giving too much beans 3 points? Because that was pretty funny.
I gave Will a point for defining it correctly, but beans gets a point for sure.
I'm giving beans 2 points because that was last place. Yeah, it's not a cause for concern. It's not an extractive fee. You don't need to be worried about it. It's something you should know about. And it basically covers the cost to interact with a blockchain network, the computing power to automatically run those computers who verify stuff back and forth between you, the other users, all these smart contracts that are moving money around the ecosystem, displaying that consensus. It all takes work.
And most everywhere you go, it's typically about a penny or a couple cents or less than a penny, unless you're using Ethereum mainnet and maybe it's like $2, $1, maybe $10, maybe. Usually it's right around $1 now. And keep it in mind, Ethereum mainnet like 4 years ago, it'd be like $100. It was crazy.
Will, what's the highest gas fee you've ever paid?
Don't do this to me, Evan.
Do you know?
Yeah, I know exactly how much I've paid for the biggest gas fee.
Oh, well, now you got to tell us, man. You want me to give you a little...
$387.73.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my.
That's the biggest gas fee I've ever paid. I've paid several $100s just to get it. Was in the NFT craze of the world. And, don't worry, I lost way more money on the NFT than the gas fee.
Dang. That's a big gas fee.
But honestly, but if I never sell, then I don't lose.
Yeah. I also think I've paid $100+ gas fee before.
Maybe I've paid one over 400, but I doubt it.
I would sit that one out for sure.
Yeah, we were talking about the highest. Do you know off the top of your head what the highest gas fee you've paid is?
That I've personally paid?
Yeah.
Oh, if I ever saw one over, even back in the day, if I ever saw one over, like, I probably paid like 40 or 50 bucks at some point. But like, if I ever saw anything more than that, I was like, I don't need to do whatever this is about to be.
Yeah, I had that the NFT craze had gripped me. And I
do remember.
dedicated, and I was just dedicated to losing money.
Yeah. I do vividly remember the other side mint. That's always my go-to example. People were paying over an ETH in gas, thousands of dollars.
How far we've come, ladies and gentlemen.
How far we've come. Alex, I brought your screen share back. I didn't mean to derail you. I just loved the joke and knew it was a good question that was important to answer.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, you could go any number of directions. I would say the biggest thing that I use this for is, and I'm one of those weirdos who, whenever I'm trying to determine whether or not a protocol or a token or an ecosystem is like worth paying attention to, I'm very curious about if they're making any money. I'd like to know if this business that I'm supposed to be investing in is making any revenue. This is where I would check that. So that's usually what I'm looking for.
For me, what I'll do too is I usually don't look at the revenue. I usually just go to see where the money's flowing. So a lot of people are talking about SWI, hopped onto SWI, a bunch of money was moving on chain, measured in TVL. When I do that, I don't measure it in dollars, by the way. You can toggle it between dollars and the native currency. I always do the native currency because that shows true on-chain adoption. And if you look at SWI here, like lately, really since I guess June, it's been doing pretty well with some steady growth since its bottom really at the beginning of 2025. And then what I'll do is if I say, okay, cool, hey, it looks like there's money moving on chain here and going into the DeFi ecosystem, I'll then scroll down and I'll take a look at what decentralized applications in the DeFi space are getting the majority of that money, because I like to invest in things that have a number of kind of, boxes checked. And one of them is fundamental adoption. I don't like to just invest on speculation. I'll trade on speculation, but if I'm going to have like a more midterm play, I need to have that box checked for it's actually being used in providing value to its targeted audience, which more people should have as a requirement. But if you're just trading, all you really need is speculation, hype, and volume.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
Alex, is Quant making money? We had Samir who asked us, what do we think about Quant? And I would be curious to know, as we've said, that not every protocol is reported on. And I don't know if Quant has good reporting in DeFiLlama. I certainly never see it here.
Yeah, there are certain projects that, for whatever reason, and you guys might have some answers, but like DeFiLlama just doesn't like connect well with or play well with. And it's not DeFiLlama's fault. They're not doing anything nefarious. It's just because a lot of the other blockchains are just built on different technologies. Like ICP has a wildly different infrastructure architecturally from other blockchains. And as a result, like it doesn't really show up well on DeFiLlama. And the same with others as well. So, it's not a perfect tool. TVL, total value locked, it's not perfect. It's just kind of the best we have at the moment in terms of trying to measure on-chain adoption.
And there are some protocols that it's really not like good for, like, but for financial rails, I think it's mostly a good metric.
Like Near protocol is DeFiLlama is not great with Near because Near doesn't really focus on DeFi. Like the top 5 apps on Near, and this was a while ago I looked at this, but for the longest time, and I would like up until the end of 2024, the top 5 apps on Near would have been the top 5 apps on Solana based on the amount of users, but none of them were DeFi focused. They were all focused on other more generic things. So, Near wouldn't be the greatest to measure TVL by as a result. And I haven't refreshed myself on Near in honestly like six months or so. So, that could change, but that used to be the case.
Okay, so looking at Quant, it's not reported on the Llama. Their estimated revenue, according to Grojo, which I think is just one of those kind of company revenue trackers. It seems to be the only thing that I'm finding here is kind of like snapshots of companies. Allegedly, their estimated annual revenue is $14 million. And for comparison, their current market cap is 1.67 billion. which is 115 times their revenue for that valuation, which is very crypto, meaning ridiculously overvalued. For comparison, the top revenue generating platforms and protocols inside of crypto, number one, it's not even remotely close, is Tether, who has made $600 million in revenue in the last month. Circle, right behind them, well, in second place, with $193 million this month. Any guesses at number 3?
Uniswap.
I'm hearing a Uniswap. William, any guesses for number 3?
That's not it. It's not Uniswap.
For number 3 of
It's Hyperliquid. It's Hyperliquid.
For number 3 most
Revenue. Crypto
Most revenue.
protocols. Yeah.
Yeah, this is revenue generated in 1 month.
So it was Uniswap. I'm sorry, I was in my head.
Number 1 is Tether with 605 million
Yeah,
in the last month. Circle is in the number 2 spot with almost 200 million. And I'm making you guys guess number 3 because I don't think either of you is going to get it.
Actually, you know what? I know. I got to guess. I think it's Ripple.
They're not. I mean, they don't report.
No,
so I
they
can't.
don't.
They're not on this
They
chart.
don't report. There
Not
are
here.
some. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Tron.
Oh, Tron. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So Price is Right rules are in effect. Evan wins because Hyperliquid is higher on the list than Tron. You are both close. Hyperliquid is in spot number 4.
Oh man.
Tron is in spot number 6.
Damn.
Number 3 by 20 million monthly revenue over Hyperliquid is PancakeSwap.
Oh,
okay,
man.
All right.
You guys forgot about Binance because we live in
Of
America.
course we did because we're
'cause
racist.
we live in America. Because we're racist.
Damn it, we had a good run.
Shut it down.
Interestingly, Axiom is number 5. With
What is
42.
Axiom?
I
What
have
even is
no earthly idea.
Literally never heard of it.
Got nothing.
It is a decentralized trading platform on what the hell blockchain is this thing on?
Somebody uses it.
Where is it? It's just their Twitter description is the only trading platform you'll ever need. Memes, perps, yield, all in one. I have no idea where this thing lives.
Maybe it's a cross chain, you know.
No, single chain.
It's on ETH as an ETH layer 2 system. Axiom is live on Ethereum mainnet.
There it is, backed by Y Combinator. Anyway,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, moving down, Ethereum as a chain is right behind Tron with, actually here, interestingly.
And shout out to B Rose who said for Axiom, most all meme traders are using it now. It's a trading platform.
Interesting.
No,
Okay.
shout out and thank you for the assist.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So the definition of what constitutes revenue as reported on this list, for Tether, it's all yield from USDT backing assets, investments, mostly US Treasury bills collected by Tether.
Definitely.
Same exact definition for Circle. PancakeSwap is revenue generated comes from user fees. Revenue is 50% of the fees paid by users. So 86.6 million monthly, meaning that they're collecting in fees $170 million. Hyperliquid percentage of swap fees going to the treasury and or token holders at 65 million monthly. And then Axiom, 42.6 million. Users receive some chunk of the fees, so revenue is lower than the fees, is just their description here. And then the networks specifically, like Tron and ETH, are base gas fees that were burned. So 18 million for ETH, 54 million for Tron.
Wow.
Woof.
Yeah, it is the highest volume chain for Tether. Most people in the world, I don't know if it's most people in the world, but the most active chain for Tether, the most profitable protocol is Tron.
Yeah,
Tether
and
runs
it's
on
all
fees.
throughout Asia.
Oh, it's huge. Matthew has a really good question here. I don't know if we can use the llama for. Go ahead.
Really quick, in answer to V asking this, where this list comes from, if you go to DeFiLlama.com/revenue, you will see the exact list I'm looking at. And then you can click through it and explore any of the things that are listed and get more information about any of those projects, protocols, ecosystems, whatever.
Alex, stay on that list because the question from Matthew is, what's the best revenue to market cap? Is that something we could find out there, or do we have to probably do a little paper math?
Probably got to do a little paper math.
Well, actually, what I would do is just download the CSV from this chart, send it to ChatGPT along with a list of top cryptos by market cap and ask it for a comparison. That's probably what I would do.
Honestly?
So I could try that.
You don't have to do it right now.
I do want to say, just because this, honestly, I did not know this, but I guess it kind of makes sense. You know what the top wallet is by revenue?
Top wallet by revenue.
Top wallet, and I'm not seeing the next wallet down. I'm scrolling, so like their number.
Is it still MetaMask?
So MetaMask is in spot number 27.
Oh, wow.
The one I'm asking about.
Are they counting exchange wallets like crypto.com, DeFi wallet, or something like that? Would be one of my guesses.
Yeah, none of those are listed here. I'm not seeing any of those up this high.
Trust wallet.
Well, then I bet it's Phantom.
It is Phantom.
Yeah, because all the people are rushing to Solana, so it'd be Phantom. Yeah.
Phantom, 15.67 million in the last 30 days.
Wow.
Fees collected by Phantom and builder code fees from the Hyperliquid perps.
Oh yeah, chat knew.
Yeah,
Phantom,
specifically. Phantom. Yeah, Pump.fund right behind Phantom. Underneath that, Radium, Aerodrome, Aave, Photon, in that order. BonkBot actually makes more money than MetaMask.
So Radium, Photon, and BonkBot are all also Solana first protocols.
Yep. Yep. I mean, if you go to, again, one of the things that you can do on the Llama is go to the specific ecosystem. So if you just go right from the homepage and click into Solana, you can see that their app revenue in the past 24 hours was $8 million. Whoa. And for comparison, Ethereum, which, as a reminder, has $90 billion more TVL than Solana does, app revenue in the last 24 hours on Ethereum was only 1.9 million compared to, again, 8 on Solana. Solana is number one with on-chain revenue with a bullet. It's not even close.
That's killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
it's an interesting list. There's a whole bunch of stuff on there, things that might kind of surprise you, like when you're trying to think about, like, you know, why do people invest here or there, whatever. Base is in number 23, Meteora right behind that, number 4 or number 24. Solana as a chain there, MetaMask, like I said, number 27 with 2.7 million monthly. Coinbase Smart Wallet underneath MetaMask in number 29. Oh, wait a second. No, that's a lie. This is in the wrong order right now. Hold on. How is this ordered?
Oh, no.
7.
Am I going to have to take away the points I gave Will for guessing where? I think that got to be the right order. Phantom doesn't surprise me at all at number 1.
No, that's definitely number 1. As we get down here, though.
Don't take away my points.
I would,
you're good.
I would, but you know, what's the relation? Matthew asked a good question of revenue to TVL, and I would say there is no hard relationship. TVL is really just like, is there a network? Does it have stuff on top of it? And how many dollars are there specifically? For example, think of New York City. This is like if you took a measure of every dollar in New York City, and some of them are in the bottom of the Hudson River, and some of them are in like some old dead person's bank account, and some of them are like moving around at hot dog stands on the street. Some of them are very active, useful dollars. Some of them are dead dollars. There's undoubtedly a huge amount of dollars just locked up in New York City, and the liquidity has a lot of velocity because people travel in and out of New York City all the time. But can you understand, as I unpack this analogy, why compared to revenue, like it's not, I don't know, unless you're at, like, say, a DeFi protocol who generates your revenue by efficiently using liquidity that is locked in your smart contracts on your protocol, I think it can be a distracting metric for those other companies. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would go a step further just to say, if you're looking at, like, no single metric can really be used well to define all protocols. For example,
oh man,
if we were talking about comparing cryptocurrencies or tokens specifically that were, representative of different protocols. So let's just say we were trying to make a decision between Radium, ETH, Sol, Pump.Funds token, Hype, a whole bunch of different things. You would not be able to say, well, let me just compare TVL and pick the highest one. Let me just look at revenue and pick the highest one. Let me just look at whatever and pick the highest one. Fees generated, whatever. Pump.Fund makes a tremendous amount of money, but they have almost no TVL because that's not what kind of platform it is. They, by design, they do not hold TVL. It's not what it's for. But if I was looking at a lending protocol that had really, really low TVL, I would be concerned about their ability to maintain, operations. I would be concerned. If I was looking at, Aave versus some random little thing, I would pick Aave any day of the week just because biggest lending protocol by TVL. In that sense, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I will also just add, you can find something with great fundamentals, won't perform well price-wise.
yeah,
It has to
very
do
true.
with tokenomics. It has to do with mind share. Are people excited about it? Is it hyped? All that kind of stuff. So this is just like, one box to tick off if you're looking for something to feel maybe more confident in. But, there's a lot more in the crypto space. Crypto's a little silly, and you can have things that don't have a whole lot of TVL or a whole lot of fundamental adoption going for it, stick around for years and years and years and years and years.
It's a little silly.
It's a little silly.
By that
silly.
little means it's mostly bullshit.
Almost entirely bullshit.
Makes no goddamn sense.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
You're total
Oh, boy.
grifters.
Well, we had a question
Pests.
about
These pests.
Arrow and whether or not you think it's still likely to get listed on Binance and whether or not that would be a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, it would totally be a good thing. You have a gigantic pipe of potential new money to be plugged into because Binance is still the largest exchange in the world. So you can get access for more money to the largest decentralized exchange on Aerodrome. Now, I made an update video on Aerodrome last week that said, hey, here's how Aerodrome's 2025 is going. I also made one on Morpho at the exact same time. And Aerodrome's 2025 has been kind of not great because their TVL has dropped significantly. Their fundamental adoption is lowering. However, their total percentage of the total pie of decentralized exchange volume on Base is still 63%. They're still the decentralized exchange for Base. It's just that the amount of TVL on it has really fallen off quite a bit. So it just means that money in Base is going to other things, maybe it's going to, I don't know, just other stuff. But it is a sign of fundamental adoption weakening on Aerodrome. Now, that is something to take into account as you invest and trade. However, keep in mind, Aerodrome has a ton of mind share. Everybody talks about it. Everybody has their eyeballs on it. Once it starts to go up, it starts to go up hard. That's not going to change, in my opinion. And once you get people going back on Base and playing around with coins and stuff and, coming back in, probably buying all-time highs, you'll see those volumes pick back up again. And yeah, go on DeFiLlama, pull up Aerodrome. I'm not trying to spread FUD or anything. Switch it over to the amount of Ethereum that's on Aerodrome, and it's going down. But they're maintaining their dominance of the Base market, which
So
I
indication-
keep growing.
Did I space out, or did you say any indication of where that ETH is going?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it, so I can't. It's all
I'll
just
show you how you
speculation.
might be able to guess.
Yeah.
One more thing. Final llama.
But yeah, I think Aerodrome. Oh, excuse me. I think Aerodrome gets listed on Binance eventually. It's just that it's weird that it wasn't included on the last batch of vote to list Binance campaign, which took place in April. Morpho was though, so we'll see.
Where did the
I
ETH
asked-
go? More
When I asked the ETH ball, 8 ball, where did the ETH go? It said, hard to tell now.
Is it all going to Morpho?
a very large amount of it is going to Morpho.
Okay, tell me how you looked it up.
Okay, so if you look at Base as an ecosystem on the Llama, you can see 5.5
DeFiLlama.
Yeah, on DeFi.
I'm not just a llama in our backyard.
Yeah.
You can see that if you scroll, so up top, get that basic information like we already talked about. But if you scroll down, and this is only on the ecosystems, you can see top protocols on that particular ecosystem. Morpho, number one by a lot. And as you can see here,
31%, yeah.
The TVL change over the past month on Aerodrome specifically is down 43%, while Morphos is up 31.8%. Aves is up
that's
14.
hard to compare though. Cause quick caveat, because Aerodrome's on one chain, Morpho's on 22 chains.
Yeah, and all these green percentages are way more than 100. And if you like a dollar for dollar, how much this was, I don't know. I'm with it too.
Spark though has a lot. I mean, the difference though, I feel like, is that Aerodrome is, and obviously it's also I would say a slightly unfair comparison just because Aerodrome is a DEX versus these two, which are lending protocols, which are just going to have higher TVL anyway. Spark is also, like, they're listed as on-chain capital allocator. That seems like the fanciest way ever to say savings account, but okay. So they're naturally going to have a little bit more anyway. And Aerodrome's still over Uniswap, for example. But see, I'm pretty sure that this TVL is specific to this ecosystem, is what we're seeing here. Because, like, what's Uniswap's entire TVL? 5.5 billion, but their listed TVL here on base is 481 million. So I think that this is specific TVL. At least that's my guess. I'd have to look a little further, but
that would make more sense because Morpho's total TVL is like 7 billion. So it's showing up as 2.1 billion here. So I think that is showing base numbers only.
Yep. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
I'm giving myself another point because I exited the screen share before you did. So let me tell you.
A bunch of bullshit.
This is ridiculous. This is the most
egregious that you have ever been.
Of ding rigging that I've ever seen.
You're
on After Dark.
Listen, don't come for me.
Look at that look on his face as he sits there thinking that just because, we all have soundboards now, Evan.
Yeah, except mine's not plugged in, so I'm the only one without a ding and a gwump. Because if it's plugged in, then the voice audio quality isn't as good, all right? This is for the betterment of the show.
Fine.
Thanks.
You're net neutral on that gwump ding situation.
Let me say to all our friends listening, thank you for hanging out with us because it is a lot of fun. But we are nearing the point in the show where we're going to round things down, give some final thoughts, answer a few more questions. We'll announce the winners of the points contest, and then we'll ride our dogs, our ponies, our cats, our cows.
Who could it be?
Certainly not going to be Alex. Come on, man.
Sounded so long.
I also have been waiting to play one sound on my board that I added, and I don't know that I'm going to get an opportunity to do it tonight. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I don't think it's that great a sound, but I feel like at the right moment, it's going to be the perfect sound. If you've got a suggestion for the soundboard, if you've got an 8-ball prediction, if you're Robert Steckler and you're trying to articulate this idea about the government changing some laws, listen, we've got to have that conversation offline because this brother, he's a cryptographer, okay? Or at least he pretends to be one sometimes when he's talking to us on the show. And the comments section is doing him dirty. The place the comment section will not do you dirty. It's not a DM. It's not an email. It's not a carrier pigeon delivered $20 bill with your handwritten note. No, it's the Rise Up Discord server at discord.gg/riseup. You can find all of our links at theriseupmorningshow.com. Send us your question there if we don't get to it on the show. Greta says, I ordered Ledger Nano X and Arculus cold wallets to move my crypto off Coinbase. Is one better than the others?
Good question. I would say that it depends on probably a couple things. One, the best one is the one that holds the things that you are trying to store. In that particular comparison, I would not be able to say confidently that like one is definitely better than the other. Ledger is a bigger company. Arculus has less bad press. Ledger's had its fair share of controversies. The Nano X is still a supported platform, so there's no need to worry about having to migrate to a different device there. No, I mean, was Ledger the top shout out that Dr. Lowe gave to
It was
other?
the top shout out.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. It was.
No,
I
it was
think
in the top three.
Lattice.
It was in the top three.
It was
And,
number 2. And after I think it was a Lattice wallet, is what he said, or maybe he referenced Lattice cryptography. I need to go back and look at it. It's episode. If you want to see it, it's Ledger, Arculus versus Ledger, episode 323. We interviewed Dr. Adam Lowe. He's a co-founder of Arculus, formerly Compost Secure, the company that designs the chip that securely, separately stores your private key on this device or in your Visa card, your MasterCard. And he talks
American Express.
He does say, of course, he thinks the Arculus is the best, but he talks about some distinctions that he thinks make it better than a Ledger. And I got to tell you, now that I've been using them more, and in the last week, I have watched 3 different people how to move assets to a Ledger device, a Nano or a Stacks. And I got to say that the combo of like app plus device that is easiest to use, in my opinion, has changed. I really think it's Arculus. Like, the show's not sponsored by Arculus, but at this point, Arculus,
it could be.
I think we got to make it official because I've fallen in love with your product. And I do think it's a little more user-friendly, but the best wallet for you is always going to be the one that supports the networks and tokens you use and that you find easiest to use well. You know, I just think about how small the text is on like this screen. Even the Stacks is not very intuitive. The interface is better, but it's not.
Yeah. You know what I will say, though? I do have to give Ledger some props for the onboarding process. I think that it gets a little cumbersome after a while because I think it's more clunky. Well, I don't think. I would say confidently that the process is clunkier, but in the beginning, I just vividly remember sitting down with my mom to set up her first hardware wallet, and it was a Ledger, and I just remember kind of thinking, like, I really liked how hand-holdy this was in the beginning. And I thought that, like, it was the proper amount of cumbersome to go through the process of, like, approving a transaction, exactly what's happening, clicking to acknowledge, like, this is the correct address, the prompt to check the address, all that sort of stuff. Like, I really think that was a very well designed, like, onboarding tutorial.
I like the buttons.
You like the buttons. You use a Nano too, right?
Yeah.
I want to remind folks that are Nano S users or thinking about getting the Nano S. I've had 3 comments in the last week. Somebody said, "I'm getting the Nano S. Is it a good wallet?" And I just want to let you know that, yeah, if it fulfills those conditions, it's a good wallet. Except, just the same way that Windows updates stop when the versions get old, Ledger is discontinuing updates for the firmware of its Nano S devices soon. I don't have a date in front of me, so we can fact check it, but it may be that users who will experience no disruption may experience disruption as the apps, they start to deprecate.
Yeah.
I'm speaking about software. So think about alternatives.
Everything does it. It's weird that it took this
part
long
of the profit cycle. Yeah.
For something crypto related to do it. It's a mark of the fact that we just don't have enough hardware.
They've just been around for such a long time too.
Consoles, computers.
Shout out to Aaliyah, who says Arculus absolutely should put a ring on it.
Correct.
They should.
Make an honest woman out of us.
Oh, also, I did see Pepsi make comments about like, hey, like, I don't know why no one's talking about Arbitrum because Robinhood's building on them and all that kind of stuff. And this is why I think no one's talking about it. It's because like Robinhood is building their own chain off of Arbitrum, like using Arbitrum. Base used Optimism. Like, go look at the Optimism chart. It's a slaughterhouse. It's like it's just because they're using Arbitrum to build their ETH layer 2 scaling solution. It's not like it's going to help Arbitrum in the same way that Base doesn't help Optimism.
Can I address a quick question, and then that brings me to a question I wanted to talk about just very quickly, and it might be like the last topic, but I don't want to take the last topic if there's something you guys really want to get to.
I don't have anything.
Just really quick to put a bow on the whole Ledger Nano S thing. If you have a Nano S, or if in like the comment is when cold wallet updates stop for any reason, you have to purchase a new one. The short answer is yes, but not immediately. It's not like you're going to lose anything. It's not like the wallet is going to break or no longer work the day of. It's just like continuing to use an old cell phone that is no longer getting the newest version of iOS. Like there are some features that you may not get the update for. There may be new security patches that get pushed that you would not get. So it would be in your best interest to upgrade to the next thing. The reason I say, no cause for concern is, like I said, every major hardware company does this exact same thing. That's capitalism, baby. You got to buy new stuff. They got to keep you buying new things. Got to get the new shiny. But also in this particular sense, I think it actually makes more sense just because security has come a long way since the early days of building hardware wallets. And so that would be another reason. But if you have an NOS, even if you had one and all of your crypto is there, and then 3 years later you were like, oh crap, you could just import your wallet into a new device and you would not have lost anything. The accounts, the wallets themselves, like your wallet that is represented by this hardware device, which is where you may view your stuff or interact with it through the software, that is fine. So it's not a cause for, it's definitely not a cause for panic.
Another very quick question to answer is, do my tokens change value if I put them in a wallet? And the answer is yes. Your tokens don't physically live in your wallet. They don't physically live on Coinbase. The only place they live is as an entry, as a record. It's like likes on Facebook. It's not like when you click like on your friend's Facebook post, a little magical blue man transports a like to their picture and glues it on there. No, it's that Facebook gets a piece of code that essentially means Evan wants to like his friend's picture, and it records a like in a little notebook. And then it knows to display one on the interface it shows to you. That like doesn't exist though. And similarly, when you're sending assets on chain, you are just reassigning them. Maybe Coinbase owns them and keeps them for you. Maybe you have a MetaMask wallet with its own private key that you reassign those assets to. But all the network computers that are keeping up with the record of who owns what and what they sold it for or bought it for, that's what determines the price. So the price changes with whatever people are willing to buy or sell it for every token, no matter where you access it from. And if you're still trying to learn this stuff, because I've seen a couple of those comments too, don't get discouraged. We've got the resources for you. We'll tell you about them in a second. But the last thing I wanted to say was about this idea that you started, Will, building chains on top of other chains. The cool thing about blockchains is they're decentralized, they're open, right? But you can build a closed container on top of them. It's not true the opposite way around. Like if I lived in the Democratic People's Republic of North Korea and I wanted to quit my job working for the state and start in a hot dog stand where I sold hand decorated postcards, I probably couldn't do it. It's very difficult to build an open system on top of a closed one. But it's very easy to build a closed system on top of an open one. Sony launched its own chain, Sonium, on Ethereum. JP Morgan has done this. BlackRock put the Biddle fund on Ethereum. Robinhood is building on top of Arbitrum. They're building these containers. And in fact, if banks come on chain, companies come on chain to do their own stablecoin, they'll probably do something like this. Because Walmart probably doesn't want you to see what's in its bank account. They don't see it as a good thing. If your bank came on chain, they don't want to display everyone's balances on chain. They're going to build a sort of closed container. It's called a permissioned blockchain, a permissioned network. And it's more centralized. Somebody is controlling that. Usually the company, the entity, the government in charge. If it's a CBDC, central bank digital currency, for example, that might be the case. And there's just a really prevalent rumor right now that because the XRP ledger makes it possible to have closed activity, to have pools that are not public, to have smart contracts that are not public. It's not as robust as Ethereum. You really can't build even half the things on XRP that you can build on Ethereum. But there's this inaccurate idea that's taken hold for tokens whose name has X, that they are doing a sort of whitelisting process whereby you must do things to make them aware of you, or they are going to become aware of you and record you if you've met certain criteria, such that when the theory is closed ledgers, that they're building a new financial system on this ledger, that it's going to go live. They're not going to tell you when it's going to happen, but banks are partnering with Ripple. They're buying up exchanges. They're doing things behind the scenes where you can't see it. And one day they're just going to flip this switch. And unless you're prepared, you are not going to be able to participate in it. And this is unhelpful because it's impossible to verify.
It has been unhelpful.
It's been debunked by people who work at Ripple, people who work at the Stellar Development Foundation. They say this is not happening.
And Schwartz.
Mr. Ripple, David Schwartz himself, has said this is not what we're doing. But a really prominent narrative is that it's a conspiracy, that they are doing this, or that somebody somewhere is doing this. And what it does is it makes you don't know who to trust. You don't know what's real and what's fake. You start to believe in stuff you can't possibly verify. And it makes you really vulnerable to scammers. There are a lot of scammers right now who are impersonating people who talk about this in order to approach you to say, like, hey, you need to do this to whitelist. The system is going to reset. Your wallet isn't safe, whatever. It's a new part of that scam I've heard today. And I've seen some really well-intentioned, well-meaning creators perpetuate some really harmful misinformation that is going to make you open to this kind of scam. Don't fall for it. Permissioned networks are not a cause for concern. We have them now all around us. And we have built something that is an alternative to that pretty much everybody is using anyway. So do you guys have anything helpful to add about that? I have seen it so much, especially on social media, on TikTok a lot lately.
Yeah. Well, fear is contagious. This kind of thing really speaks to concerns that people have. I mean, it's natural to be concerned about things that we don't understand. I don't know. Fear spreads. If I can't make you laugh to get you to watch my video, I can try to scare the shit out of you instead.
Yeah, it's easier. Yep. Look at the news. Everything. It's a scary headlines all the time. Gets clicks, gets ads.
Peddling fear is fear is the product of someone who is either trying to take your attention away from something that it should be on instead, or just from the person who actually has nothing to offer you.
And you don't need to take everything at face value. You don't need to worry about things you cannot verify. Like, there are a million things that might happen. Some of them are more realistic and likely than others. And you will save yourself a lot of worry and concern and make better decisions and just fear less. If you just focus on the stuff you can verify and get in a community of people who can help you do it, put you in touch. Aaliyah says, how are you supposed to know the truth? The truth is on chain. And we want to help you become more self-sufficient, Will always says, investors, but also on-chain researchers, users of this technology, so that you can be the one who goes into that room and tells someone, hey, this is a scam because A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Don't spend your time on it, and help save somebody from losing thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. Like, that can be you. We want it to be you. It's up to all of us to tell a better story. And it could be Uniswap too, if they just come over here on TikTok and talk to people. So, yeah, that's what I got. Are you ready to prepare some final thoughts and do some point tallies and figure out who won our game?
Okay. Sure. Let's do it.
Then, ladies and gentlemen, let us know what your final thought is, your last question. And as we go around, I will say thank you for coming to the show, for being the very best part of what we do. We'll read out the points as they stand. In last place with 2, unfortunately tonight it's our friends at Uniswap. So maybe they got to come on the show and talk to us and
yikes.
And meet the people. It'll be good. We'll have a good time.
That one hurt,
also,
guys.
With
hurt me more than it hurt you.
With one Gwump beating nobody but Uniswap, racism. Tough loss.
Oh no, Uniswap got beaten by racism.
Tough loss, Uniswap.
Truly awful.
Whew. Wow.
That was a full-throated laugh from Will.
That was good.
With 1 point each, we have got several of our friends. We've got Cosmic got a point. We've got Wallet Swaps with a point. And we've got JM with a point for showing some love to the dolphin, saying, where did it go? Beans, Water Tiger, made that great beans joke, got 2 points. We've got Adriano with 5 points, B Rose with 3 points, Matthew with 3 points for 3 good questions. And that means in third place.
So you're telling me?
Oh, wrong button. Oh, Chuck, you also got 5 points. Congratulations, Chuck. In third place, I got to count because of all the Gwumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my. Oh, damn it. In third place with 6 points, it's me. With 7 points in second place, it's Alex. And actually, I didn't do this on purpose, but we have a tie for first place tonight. Technically, I got second place because Alex and Will are your co-champions with 8 points.
Nature is
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Yeah. This is right. After all
is
that
rigged.
after all that fake pointage you gave yourself to.
Yeah.
We
Nature
were
is
co-grifters. How
nature
about
is
giving
healing.
us some fucking credit?
Honestly, that's what I have to say about that. What do you got? Have you got a final thought for us, gentlemen?
Yeah, my final thought for you is that cheating clearly doesn't work because look at you. You're over here stacking points in your favor and you still lost.
Solano said, "Way
You're a
to
loser."
beat racism, gentlemen." I am a loser, but at least I beat racism.
I'm still chuckling to myself about how Uniswap lost to racism.
Oh man, that was
That's
rough.
great. No, my only thought is, again, to kind of doubling down on the request is, guys, head on over to Uniswap's TikTok page. Let them know who you are good creators in the TikTok space. Keep it positive. And maybe even tweet at them, too, because if that TikTok that they made is any suggestion, I don't think they spend too much time looking at their TikTok or doing much on TikTok. They might not even read the comments, honestly. So, but anyway, I'd appreciate that. And I will say it does look like to me, just from a TI standpoint, it looks like Bitcoin dominance is starting to get a little tired for altcoins, and you might see a pickup in Bitcoin pretty soon here, or we'll see. We'll see. It's looking pretty spent at the moment. But you'll learn more in the update video in the morning. So
Beautiful.
Stay tuned till next week's episode of Dragon Ball Z.
I knew that one too. That's good. Will, I got to say too, I really like your outfit tonight.
Oh,
Thanks. You're looking fly, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I thrifted it.
Oh,
All right.
He's a thrifty boy. Okay, cool.
I'm a thrifty boy.
Alex, what about you? Do you have a good final thought by way of transition as you swallow? I will say Aaliyah had a beautiful final thought. We do not lie, cheat, nor steal, or tolerate others who do. And I have a final thought from DJ Quiggs, who said in response to, do you know why? Why?
Hey, do you know why? Tell me why. Key.
Because
they don't fucking have to.
Because they don't fucking have. I forgot what my setup was for it. I just really wanted to play that sound.
Hey, yeah, that's a late stage Gwump right there.
Listen, man, I had a really good show tonight. This was a smooth show. I had fun with you guys. We had some well-timed jokes, some good, insightful points.
Unlike all those other shows where Evan doesn't have a good time with us.
I said the right name tonight for the first time in a long time. And you know what we didn't do? We got to do this. Alex, give a final thought, but then my final thought will be let's pick a winner tonight because
let's do that.
You're well, Matt.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
We'll be back bright and early.
We'll be back bright and early. Go ahead and pick a number, Will, between 1 and 86. Alex will find a premium member.
73.
Beautiful, 73, and I will pick somebody randomly. I'm scrolling just around in the chat. Send a comment to let me know you're here while Alex scrolls and tells us who is number 73.
Stall.
Hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. Hold the right time. When I was a boy, I was at SeaWorld back when Shamu was still Shamu, and Shamu crashed a gigantic wave upon me, and I slipped and fell right on the grating that was supposed to wash the water, and I had cuts all across my arms, and Shamu got its revenge. That's a real story. It's very traumatic. I still see that wave in my head. Yeah, it's a real story. Yeah, Shamu fucked me up, dude. Shamu fucked me up, and deservedly.
On that?
Where were you when this happened?
SeaWorld.
SeaWorld, obviously. We just think Shamu
where do you think Shamu is?
Well, I don't know. They probably moved that poor whale around at some point to different
no, they don't
tanks.
have Shamu anymore, I don't think.
Okay, well, you deserved it.
Yeah, I was like 5.
Okay,
SeaWorld sucks.
Here for the circus said you had it coming.
Yeah, you sure
Hey, I did get to play with the dolphins at what was that? No, it wasn't SeaWorld. That was another Florida amusement park. I got to throw toys for them and stuff. It was cool. I got to hang on to one dorsal fin and actually get carried off with dolphins. That literally happened for me, which is great now that, dolphins are a big part of my identity online.
So they had toys thrown to them by tourists and they had to carry you around. It definitely sounds better than the ocean.
Yeah, dude, it was sweet.
Anyway, The winner.
Who won a prize tonight?
The winner is Sherlock.
Sherlock, and from the live stream, Sitter, and Sherlock. Congratulations. Send us a message wherever you are, whenever you listen, and we will be sure to get you a prize. The best place to do it is in the Rise Up Discord server. One more time, you can find all our social links, some cool free stuff, the membership program, and maybe even, I don't know, a little treat, a little donut in the pocket for you, theriseupmorningshow.com, and that's where you can find the Discord server, our whole show schedule, all the links to past episodes. And my friends, if you enjoyed it, good news is we'll be back tomorrow, Thursday, to close out the week, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. All your favorite social platforms. We will see you there. Until then, guys, thank you so much. Let's ride our cats and cows into the sunrise. Until next time, everybody stay safe, be well,